not long because it's kind of late. It's almost 9 o'clock here. But I wanted to talk about this whole Tory Lane situation where he was found in contempt of the court for refusing to comply with questions regarding this trial. This is actually a trial, ladies and gentlemen, against Milagro Grams, and in reference to Meg the Stallion. So I wanted to do a quick little thing on it. I hope all is well. And don't forget to check out the reading with Cardi B, Offset, and her new baby daddy. That's on the actual channel. I released that as a pre-recording just because I got so busy today. But yeah, we're gonna look at this whole thing with Tory Lanez real quick. I don't know, y'all. Tell me how y'all feel about like what happened today, like what's going on with the whole thing with the blogger. I'm not here to really bash her and beat her up because I mean, as a YouTuber, like our job is to report what's going on, but I do feel we have to still be responsible in our reporting, right? In what we're saying. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If I have reported something out and somebody sent me something saying that a cease and desist, I don't. It's not worth it to keep going forward. It's just not worth it because look, now you got to get a lawyer. Now you got to fight this defamation, this lawsuit, and it's not just about because I saw Tasha K's response earlier today saying she hopes Millie wins because everybody was saying Meg was lying. Well, a lot of people said Meg was lying. I mean, Meg was caught lying on a few instances, even on that interview with Gayle King. The problem is not just the lying. The problem is the other accusations that they're saying happened between her and the blogger, right? So it's not just it's not just about lying. Saying somebody's a liar is one thing. They're talking about some type of PORN. They're talking about harassment. They're talking about, I mean, it's bullying. I mean, it's not just about somebody saying you're a liar. I don't believe your story. Your story doesn't add up. It's beyond just that. It's more than just that, right? Oh, let me see. Can I pull this back? I hate doing that because, but I want to pull it back so y'all can see the border better. Let me see. Okay, let me see. I hope that looks good. All right. So anyway, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Let me let me get in here so I can see y'all comments. So let's see. Good evening. Hello, hello. Yep. So don't forget to check out that reading on Offset, Stephon Diggs, and Cardi B, the baby. Um, Offset is now claiming he never said anything. Sir, our eyes can see. Our eyes can see. And you said things before. You said things before she had the baby, right? About you're still married and you're pregnant. You put something in your song. What do you mean you didn't say anything about her baby? What do you mean you didn't say anything? Just because she's now probably taking legal action against you and saying you're harassing her, now you want to change your tune and act like you got hacked. Let me tell you something. We all got eyes. We all could see. We all saw what you was doing. You've been on some petty stuff, right? And it's not your baby, and you need to move on. You need to get that lady her divorce, right? You need to give that lady her divorce. You need to go on about your business. You need to go pay your taxes, okay? That's what you need to do and take care of your other kids. We saw what you were doing. We saw how petty you were. You were in every single blog. You were being a pest. And you're an ex-husband. That's what some ex-husbands do. Fine, totally fine, whatever. But if she's telling you to stop, if she's telling you you're bothering her, if she feels that this has become harassment, leave the lady alone. Like, what is the problem? Like, I just don't get some of these people. So let's get back to our reading here. Yeah, let's get back to our reading here. So let's see. Good evening. All right, what's up, Paradise? What happened? We're talking about Tory Lane. So today he was found in contempt of court for failing to answer questions. They did 3 attempts to depose him, or to ask questions, and every single time it just went left, to the point to where he actually was uh, his lawyer, I believe she had to pay a $5,000 fine, and he's required to pay a $20,000 fine. He said he didn't care. He said, I'm a millionaire. He said that, what happens if I don't answer these questions? But my thing is this, okay, even though y'all know my position with the whole Tory Lanez and Meg the Stallion situation, my thing is this, Tory, are you like, why are you giving, like, to me, you're like, to me, under, okay, there's a few things going on here. First of all, you don't want to be up deposed. You don't want to have to speak, because then whatever you put on record could be used at a later date. So I get that, right? But my thing is this, they got people advocating for him. They got people advocating for him, and lawyers, Congress people in the Senate. They got people advocating for this guy, for him to go in court and do what he did. You would have done better just to plead the fifth and just been quiet, right? I plead the fifth. I have nothing to say, and just been quiet versus, having these outbursts in court, right? You're asking Governor Gavin Newsom for a pardon. Do you think that he will pardon someone who's disrespectful of the legal system? Do you think he's going to pardon somebody who's not respecting the court system? He's not thinking these things through. Like, he's not thinking these things through. He's so busy trying to get out of having to say anything or reconnect it to it, that he's not thinking about what happens in the future when you have like, if you try to do some other appeal, or some new information come up, or you keep pushing forward for that pardon. It looks bad. This is not the first time that he had a deposition, or he had to sit for a court appearance, and they claimed that he was being uncooperative. This is not the first time. This is actually the second time, right? And then they said his lawyer was no better. The lawyer was no better. The lawyer had no control over him. They said he was literally getting up, walking out of the court, right? And so therefore she was fine and he was fine for the thing. But my thing is this, you're hurting the girl Milagro, right? You're hurting Milagro, because she's on trial. And even though you may think, okay, I ain't got nothing to do with it, that's on her. I mean, this is why I tell y'all, stop fighting for these people. Like, don't fight for me. Like, listen, let Blue Nola fight her own battles. Because look at how he's doing in court. He won't even get in court and just do the right thing and say, okay, you know what? I know Millie, she's been advocating for me, but me and her, that's as far as it went. He getting in court, he messing her up, right? Like, this is why we can't be fighting for these people. Because these people will get in court and act her ass and show their ass, and now she got to sit there and deal with she dealt with, she did what she did. Okay, she did what she did. But at the end of the day, he's not helping the situation, because what the judge said is basically, we can just tell the jury that you refuse to cooperate. You wouldn't say anything, you wouldn't do anything, and that's gonna make it look bad. Like, he was trying to hide something, he was trying to evade. That's gonna make it look bad for her. And this is why I'm telling y'all, don't be getting up in the comments whether it's Tory Lanez, Krishan Rock, Blueface, none of these people. Do not be fighting for these people. Because you go fight for these people, and when it's all said and done, they don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you. Look how they hang you, let you hanging, just in court, just on your own, just dangling in the wind. I mean, goddamn, you can't even just say, you know what? I know Milagro, she's a blogger. Yes, I know she's a blogger. Yes, I know she's been covering my story. Yes, she's been advocating for me. There have been times that I did have a conversation with her to thank her, but it's like he's just leaving her high and dry. We have to stop trying to advocate and fight for these people that when it's all said and done, when they go to court, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you. I'm telling you right now, I'm not in no chats. I'm not about to fight for nobody. I ain't doing it. That's why when I be seeing people, y'all, you wasting your time. You're preaching to the choir. I remember one time, there's this blogger. My sister was telling me about it. I always bring my sister up. My sister was telling me about how they had this blogger who was always fighting for Jade and Alexis. Blueface baby mama, right? And they fighting for Jaden, fighting for Jaden, fighting for Jaden, fighting for Jaden, da-da-da-da. Jaden got on a live stream with said blogger and basically told her, I don't watch what you post. I don't care what you post. And don't fight for me because I'm not paying attention to it. You up here fighting for your life in the chat for somebody who basically got in the chat and told you, I don't give a damn about you. I don't give a damn about you, about what you saying. You fighting for your life in the chat for Jade and Alexis. For Jade and Alexis to get in the chat and tell you she don't give a damn about what you posting. She ain't paying attention to what you posting. She don't care about what you posting. I wish I would. I wish I would be in court fighting for anybody. Fighting for anybody. Right? Besides myself. Besides myself. But let me see what you're saying. Tory is a fool and his money is parted. These lawyers are milking him dry. He is wasting his time. I believe that he is not a good person. When I look at, I always try to like stay in the middle with Tory. I just try to read the cards and just let the reading be the reading because, it can get biased. I don't always like him because I feel like there's some manipulation going on there. But, you know, you had a chance to speak when they asked you during the shooting trial to, would you like to take the stand? And you refused to take the stand. And then you got on months later, a couple of years later, you act like, like you didn't get your due process. But you were asked specifically, hey, would you like to go to trial? And you didn't do it. Now you have another chance to stand up and speak again, and basically you caught an attitude, a temper tantrum to avoid to avoid speaking once again. To me, when do we get that this person just is not willing to cooperate in this situation? Like, when do you get that part? Like, I don't get that, right? When do you not stand up for yourself to say, you know what, absolutely incorrect, I wasn't in cahoots with this person, right? She has a right. She's entitled to feel the way she feels about me. She's a supporter of mine. But once again, he's chosen another path, which is the path of resistance, right? This is another example of a person who's not putting it on record his part in anything. That's what he's doing. And essentially, whether she believes it or not, he's not being supportive to her as much as she supported him, right? She may feel like it's cool or whatever. Let me tell you this: it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Now you gotta get a lawyer. Now you gotta go to court. Now you gotta spend money. Now you splashed all over social media for what exactly? For what? For Tory Lanez, who went in there, asked, refused to answer questions, and then at the end of the day, the judge is gonna make sure the jury, you're on trial, not him, the jury that he asked and he didn't support you, and he's hiding something and you're hiding something, and therefore, like, they're gonna try to throw the book at you. What you say, Chris? Don't be windmilling for these people. Don't windmill for me. Let me fight my own battles. I remember when I had that whole thing with some years ago with that whole social media thing. I told y'all, we're not even doing that. We're not about to get into nothing. We're not going back and forth. It's not worth it. It's just, I'm not doing it, and I refuse to do it. Right. So, Tory Lanez don't care about these fans windmilling for him. He don't. They got people that got in trouble for him. They got people that done lost their pages for him. They got people in court for him. And he get in court and he refusing to even speak. So, there's this guy that's always, his lawyers for workers. He, basically, he was talking about the whole case. Too. And he kind of broke down what was happening, what was said, in terms of this Tory Lanez case, or what have you. But I would just say, to Milagro, girl, look, girl, it's not worth it. Like, when I tell you, it's really not worth it. It's really not worth it to be getting mixed up with these people. Because at the end of the day, look what he did. He got in court and act the fool 3 times. 3 times. They had to restart this deposition 3 times. And then the judge just finally got disgusted and just said, you know what? Well, we're not going to do this again. We're not doing this anymore. What we're going to do is we're going to just tell the court that you refuse to comply, and tell the jury that you refuse to comply, and we're going to be done. That's not good. Right? Especially for somebody who's on trial, because then that person's not being able to paint a solid picture. And it made me think of, what's that guy named Woody? Remember when they had the YSL trial? It made me think of how Woody was in there cutting up and refusing to answer certain questions and stuff like that. But the difference between Woody and Tory Lanez is that Woody not facing 10 years, right? Woody wasn't facing 10 years. He was facing getting sanctioned. He was facing some jail time if he didn't cooperate. But Tory's still facing time, and he still has a chance to try to turn the needle with this. So let's listen to this right quick.
$5,000. This is not Tory's case. Tory is a witness in a defamation lawsuit that Meg Thee Stallion has brought against blogger Milagro Graham's formal name Milagro Cooper. What happened here is they tried to depose him. It didn't go well. He was not a good witness. There were 3 separate depositions. The first time, it lasted 44 minutes before Tory insulted the attorney so much, even his lawyer didn't defend him, and they said, we're going to shut down this deposition. He got sanctioned. They did the deposition a second time. Now, the second time, the judge personally supervised the deposition, and Tory was like, yo, what happens if I don't answer? I got jailed for already 10 years. What are you going to do to me? The judge is like, well, I could give you more time. I could fine you. He basically caused the deposition to stop, and there was then a third deposition. The third deposition kind of started the same way, where Tory's like pressing the judge, like, yo, so what if I don't answer? What are you going to do? I'm a millionaire. I'll pay whatever fines you got. The lawyer ended up asking him 3 questions only during the deposition. 1, how did you meet Milagro Cooper? 2, did you communicate with her? 3, did you message her on Instagram or text? Tory told the lawyer, calm down. He called her a liar, and he stormed out of the room twice, refusing to answer a single question. So what the judge did is they said, all right, well, you've tried 3 times. You've messed them all up. You're now being held in contempt in court. You have to pay $20,000 to Megan Thee Stallion. Your lawyer has to pay $5,000 to Megan Thee Stallion. And the real kicker here, what the judge did that kind of adds some teeth, is the judge recommended that in Milagro's trial, the jury hears that Tory refused to answer the questions. So if you're on the jury, you're going to assume the answers would have been really bad for Milagros. Tory gets off kind of light. He pays $20,000. He didn't have to answer the questions. He doesn't end up getting any type of jail time or further penalty. He basically did what he wanted, which is act like a millionaire who's just going to pay the fine, and you can do what you want. Are y'all ready to talk about what happened?
So did y'all hear that? So that's basically what happened. So he got off not having, not being sanctioned. He got off not having, he got off having to pay the $20,000. But he said he didn't care. He said, I don't care. And like you heard this guy name is Mo, Lawyers for Workers. You heard what he said where, Tory was like, I'm refusing to answer questions, and actually told the judge, what you going to do if I don't do it? And the judge said, well, I can give you more time, jail time. Well, okay, well, I'm in there for 10 years already. Okay, well, I can sanction you. I can make you pay a fee. I'm a millionaire. I don't care, right? And this happened 3 times, y'all, 3 times. So my thing is this with Tory, like, sir, what you doing over there? You're not thinking about the people who have been advocating for you. You're not thinking about down the road if you want to file another appeal. You're not thinking about that pardon that you're asking Governor Gavin Newsom to do. Like, you're not thinking straight, obviously, right? So let's just ask this question. Give me energy around the trial, the blogger trial. And let me say this about the blogger trial. Do I feel like she could have done things differently? Yes. Do I want to see this be how you want to say, okay, let me vote. Do y'all think Milagro should be held liable? Give me a 1. Do you think this should be dismissed? Give me a 2. And then I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Do you think Milagro should be held liable, which means penalties she may have to pay, right? Or do you think that this should be dismissed? Give me a 1 if you feel she should be liable, and give me a 2 if you feel that this should just be totally dismissed. All right, so Monica, you giving a 1. Capricorn, you giving a 1. Anybody else? What y'all think? Okay, Taj says a 2. Paradise is giving a 1. T. Gary is giving a 1. All right, anybody else? Do you believe Milagro should be held responsible for her actions? They're saying that it's been bullying and harassment. It's been some type of deep fake porn. I mean, I didn't see it, but they're saying that it's beyond just saying she's a liar. So I see. Okay, Earth to Corey. They're saying that it's a 2. Okay, so we have a lot of 1s. We have a few 1s, and then we have a couple of 2s here. Anybody else willing to vote? Will this hurt? Tory's deposition. Tory refusing to answer questions. Tory on a sand storming out. I didn't know the people could just storm out the court. I thought they was in shackles and their hands was tied. I mean, what? Like what? So what court this is? Where people could just, where the people that's in jail could just be doing, like they're just what? Like what kind of court is this? They don't have no control over there. Give me the energy around Will Tory, his behavior, his actions, his refusal to answer questions. Will this hurt Milagro? Will this be a deciding factor for her, or will this be okay? Will she be okay? So when you look at, let me make sure it's not a second card. When you look at the messages, you know the Knight of Swords is all about a person who's being reckless or, uh, uh, how you want to say, impulsive. Not, let's say impulsive, right? You can say reckless too, but this is about a person who's being impulsive. This is his way of defending himself. This is his way of shutting it down. This is his way of basically saying, I'm not participating in it, right? This is his method. This is, he woke up and decided, I'm not participating. I'm not doing it. This is Tory Lanez right here. Now, regardless of whether he decides to do it or not, they're gonna still, with that double card, that's about tying them together. So that double card represents they're gonna still try to tie him and this girl Milagro together. That represents a bondage, a tie, a connection. The double card is about basically a behavior. So they're gonna basically say they were playing on the schoolyard together, right? In the schoolyard together. It does talk about in that Seven of Swords. That Seven of Swords is about, about coming clean, about the approach, about some deception happening. It is showing that they will be able to see, regard, basically him, basically I feel like her situation is kind of already bad, even if he didn't do it, if that makes sense, right? So even if he didn't do it, they already have something that's there that's basically tying them together, right? They just wanted him to do it on record. But again, this talks about mental challenges. So he came in given a challenge. Now, I do feel the reckless behavior will hurt her because this does represent reckless behavior, careless behavior, making a distraction, being erratic, or, this is what this does. So it does show that it can hurt her in this situation. But let me say this again. I feel like I feel like even with him not doing this, even if he didn't do this, I feel like they were gonna be able to tie them in together. That's what that talks about, to tie them in together, right? That's what it talks about. So, I saw Milagro. I don't really follow her, but I was on Twitter because I was like, let me see what they're saying out there, since I knew I was gonna come and do this. She twirling around, girl. I'm like, look at her, looking fabulous. Okay, girl, come out of court and twirl, twirl. All right, give me the energy around Milagro and her case. Ooh, Four of Pentacles, right? King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. I do feel like they'll find her negligent on some things and not negligent on other things, right? So, for example, her giving her opinion. She's a blogger. Meg is the celebrity. She's allowed to give her opinion. So, I think on some things she may win because, because it does show in the messages there is some protection. It's even on the card. There is some protection around her in terms of she's allowed to speak on a celebrity. She's allowed to give her opinion. So some of it will be like she's allowed to do that. She is allowed to give an opinion, right? And so I think like it is giving me like there may be some wins for her, but there also is a loss for her here. She has the Knight of Pentacles as well, and that can also, like two things can be true at the same time. They can say, okay, well, you can give your opinion. You can say she's a liar. You can say she wasn't telling the truth. You can show examples of where she was not telling the truth, right? When she did that interview. I'm talking about Meg, when Meg did that interview with the lady and said that she didn't sleep with Tory and she did. Right? You can give examples, so you can say, as a commentator, you can give your opinion. So I think that there's a win there, right? But then there's this King of Pentacles here, and that King of Pentacles could come with some consequences, right? That means, beyond you just giving your opinion, beyond you just saying she's a liar, you did some things that, or you behaved in a way that was excessive. You behaved in a way that, like you can make bullying one of them if you want to. But when you see the Knight of Pentacles is about somebody being negligent. So I do feel like there may be a win for Milagro, and then there may be a loss for Milagro, if that makes sense, right? Because I think it's a couple of things that she's going against. I do feel like there's something about, when you see this Ace of Pentacles and this Nine of Pentacles, there may be something that they do when it's all said and done. They may say that, like, they have to come to some type of terms. The Ace of Pentacles represents some type of, like, achievement on, like, some money exchange of hands. The bottom line, I don't believe Milagro has the money to give Meg the Stallion anything significant. I think it's more about the principle at this point, because even in the Nine of Pentacles is all about discernment, discretion, right? I think this is an attempt to silence her, but I do also feel like it's an attempt to silence other content creators too, right? It's not good for content creators if this case, if she wins, even if Meg the Stallion even wins one out of the three or one out of the four things that she's, because then once again it starts to put shackles on other content creators, because of, like, if this becomes an unprecedented case where they say, okay, we did find you did A, B, C, D. Like, yes, you're allowed to give your opinion. Yes, you're allowed to do this, but you were excessive in other areas. So there's something about her being excessive in another area where they may find, right? They may find that she was negligent. So I think two things can be true at the same time. I think she can have a win and she can have a loss. That's what it looks like to me in the messages, right? Let's ask about Tory. Will Tory, like, this, and this is another thing. Tory's lawyers, where are they getting these people from? Like, the bottom of the barrel, the sewer. I don't know what's going on. Because even, like, they had another lawyer who works with Unite the People, right? This man was rolling, I don't know if he was rolling a blunt or a cigarette in the deposition. There was a deposition that Tory's lawyer was involved with, or maybe they was asking him some questions. I don't know what that was about. It just looked like he was sitting down at a table and looked like he was rolling either a blunt or a cigarette, or maybe it was a cigar. I don't know what this man was doing, right? But it he was, this is supposed to be somebody that's representing Tory. And he literally doing this. And they asking him questions. He refused to answer the questions. It was a man with Unite the People. One of the organizations helping Tory refused to answer questions. I don't know if that's the tactic now. Like, I'm gonna refuse to answer questions. My client is gonna refuse to answer questions. Like, what is going on here? But give me the energy around, Tory's future, his future, like, efforts to overturn his conviction. Will all of this, like, hurt him? I'm like, what is happening? This seems like this is just taking a nosedive. And that will create some people to have some. Now, let me say this. He still will have people standing up for him. Let's start with the positives. He still will have people standing for him, right? He still will have people fighting for him. That's in his Nine of Wands. That means people, regardless of what's happened with this court appearance today, and even the other one when he had another deposition, this represents persistence, moving forward, constantly trying to stand 10 toes down. So I still feel like they're going to still try to push forward, right? Even in this Wheel of Fortune, that Wheel of Fortune says, you know what, we had a setback, but we're going to try to keep moving this needle forward. We're going to keep that cycle going, right? But in that Moon card, I can see where people, like, some other people could probably, like, you know what, let's be careful, because this is becoming a problem. But I feel like his team is kind of like thinking they can do all of this and walk out of those positions and not answer and be in contempt and still think they got a leg to stand on. That's what it looks like to me, right? So it looks like he's gonna still be trying to. They're gonna still be pushing it forward like it's no big deal, you know. Now we did do a reading on if Governor Gavin Newsom is going to give him a pardon. Let's ask that again. This is falling out, and this Ten of Swords is basically the Ten of Swords is right not having any success with it. That flew out. So this could represent a failure, a collapse, inevitably ending, having some momentum with those signatures, but inevitably it just goes nowhere, right? It may become invalid. He may not ever get approved for it, right? Or he may, but this just shows in his messages the pardon. It makes me feel like Tory. Do you feel like that? Do you feel like Tory has kind of given up in some way? Like he's just said, you know what, fuck it. I lost my appeal. That was my chance. Shit, Meg got me in court for this and got me in court for that. But sir, like at the end, that's like saying I give my opinion. That's like saying me and Tila, I'm on, me and Tila connecting with each other and doing something. Then the minute Tila get in trouble and they try to ask me a question, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Well, I was talking to Tila too. Or they are taking his money. He is wasting it with those lawyers. Yeah, he really is. He really is wasting his money. I think that's why he ended up going with Unite the People. Because with Unite the People, I don't think they're taking as much as the lawyer that he had before. That lawyer was a very expensive lawyer. And so I believe like him going with Unite the People is saving him some money. But they still need money. They still need money to file paperwork and do depositions and file motions or whatever you want to call it. But I do feel like he's probably saving a good bit of money by going with United People and some lawyers that may be not as expensive. But he seems to have lost. He seems to have just kind of lost his faith, right? The Two of Pentacles is here. That can represent up and down in his worries, his priorities, difficulties, feeling aggravated, fluctuation in his energy, right? Um, you know, and then he'll have his days where you might hear him say, I'm still standing strong, I'm still here, I'm still gonna fight. He is the emperor here. That's what that means. But I do feel like that losing that appeal did like kind of affect him, because this represents a lack of energy, a lack of passion, like just kind of like I'm at my wits end. That's what the Ace of Wands is. All right. So with that being said, that is on Tory Lanez and everything that he got going on. I'm not gonna be here too long. I just wanted to do something on him because I'm like, sir, what is going on? And when I read through it, I did go and I read through the whole thing. I mean, I'm like, damn, he literally up here getting up, walking away. He sit here refusing to answer. He telling the court, I don't even care. I'm a millionaire. Do I have to answer this? What happens if I don't? Like all this stuff that, like what is happening here? Do you think he will serve the whole 10? I feel like he's going to serve a good bit of that time. We talked about that before. I do feel like he's going to serve. If his behavior, if he keeps that same attitude, I feel like he going to end up serving his time. He gotta get, I know he's been trying to be optimistic for so long, but he gotta keep his head straight. Because I mean, y'all already know how I feel about the case and what happened. I got about 35 videos on this. So it's not about he's guilty or not guilty. This is just about this incident. Him being in court and how will it affect him in the future. They are taking it. Oh, let's see. Do you think that he will serve? Yes. Blue Nola, Tory needs some jail therapy. He is stabbed 14 times, almost died. This could affect his mind. Yeah. I mean, did he think about it affecting somebody when he was shooting everywhere, like the man said? Like, like we always, like, I hate to say this, but even see somebody in my comments earlier, like Meg is bullying him. Man, like, people can pull a gun or have a gun, but then when somebody pull a knife, then we gotta give sympathy. Their mental health may be affected. What about other people's mental health? Whether you believe he did it or not, like she's saying she saw him. The girl said she saw him before she changed the story. The man who lived there said he saw him shooting everywhere. My thing is this, what about somebody else's mental health that saw a gun aimed at them? I even read something in a deposition when he did the appeal that he said that Meg the Stallion saw the gun pointed at her. She had enough time to run and duck and run. Y'all didn't read that part? He literally said in the appeal, the lawyer said that Tory said that Meg saw the gun. She knew a gun was in the car. And she had enough time to duck and run. Wait, let me see this. I think I have this. I think I have this thing where he said she had enough time to duck and run. So you literally sit here. I'm going to see if I can find it. But he said something about Meg the Stallion knew that there was a weapon in the car. Knew there was a weapon in the car. And she had enough time to duck and run. Let me see. Hold on. I want to read this part. Okay, this was like a few days ago. So basically they said here, this is for his appeal that he just lost. Okay? So pretty much they're saying Peterson contends that Pete should have recognized that there was indeed signs of an armed individual maybe in the vehicle, and thus had the ability to run and duck once she saw the gun pointed at her. Let me repeat this. Peterson contends that Pete should have recognized there was indeed signs of an armed individual that may be in the vehicle, thus had the ability to run and duck once she saw the gun pointed at her. But I believe that Tory had said there was no gun and nobody pointed it at her and she never got shot. Like, what are we talking about here? Why would he make this statement? Like, why would he make this statement like she should have known that there was an armed person in his car and she had enough time to duck and run? Like, I don't understand this. But they said she wasn't shot. They said she had stepped on glass. They said there was no bullets. But why would he say that she should have known that there was an armed person and she had a chance to duck and run? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, none of this stuff even makes no sense. Like, we just overlook stuff like this. This was literally in his appeal that he just lost recently, where he made that comment about she should have recognized an armed person was in the car and she had enough time to duck and run and duck, whatever the hell he said. Well, you said she never was shot. You said she stepped on glass. You said what? Anyway, this is too much foolishness for me. But this was literally in his new deposition. All right. All right. So I'm about to get out of here, and then of course, regardless of what he says, regardless of what I say, regardless of what anybody say, everybody gonna take a side. Everybody gonna take a position. This talks about people still being divided, people still having their opinions, the message of conflict, frustration, struggle, being annoyed, and of course, etc., etc. So it don't matter what I say. It don't matter what somebody else say. Tory said that in his statement, and people still made it seem. Well, he didn't necessarily identify somebody. Well, he said she never was shot. He said that there was no gun. He said that she stepped on glass in the beginning. But now, he's saying that a gun was. She should have realized the gun was pointed at her. Like, we have to all make it make sense. All right, so that is on that. I did a reading on earlier today on Krishan and Blueface, the whole thing about her making kind of like threats about she want to see him buried, she want to visit his grave. She gave out his address. I did a reading on that. Do y'all want me to release that tonight or tomorrow? I did that earlier. I just was letting the Cardi B Offset reading marinate. But I can release the Krishan reading, the Blueface Krishan reading tomorrow. But I had an opinion about that. I had an opinion about the fact that like that he brought Junior up in that verses, but I also had an opinion about the way she responded to it, right? And we did pull some messages around it, but if y'all want me to release the reading on Krishan Blueface about her making to me like she's speaking death over the guy. If y'all want me to release it tonight, let me know. If y'all feel like we can wait until tomorrow, let me know. Give me a 1 to release it tonight. Give me a 2 to release it tomorrow. It's ready. I have it. I have it. I literally have it. I had clients, but I've been in between my clients doing readings and then I did a video. Then I decided to come live. I mean, I feel like Tory had a part to play in this whole thing with Meg the Stallion, obviously. But he has to think about the bigger picture. He has to think about like for future appeals and asking for maybe another pardon and all of these things. Don't let your attitude hurt you for the future, right? Like don't be that person. You have a son. Even if you don't win, don't have that attitude in court, because then they could look at that behavior and say, you know what, this person is ignorant. Oh yeah, even parole, T. Gary. Yeah, like you're right. Like you go up for parole and they're gonna be like, he up there cutting up in the court, refuse to answer question, talking back and forth to the judge, storming out. All of that shit. You right, T. Gary. All of that shit play a big part in you getting closer to freedom. All this play a big part. You're not even thinking about that. Thank you, T. Gary. Even when you think about early release, has this person changed? Does this person, and you over here doing this, you're not even thinking about down the road. At this point, you just done gave up. You want to be like Blueface. You want 2 more years in there, huh? Like, come on, stop. Do your time, get out of there, be on good behavior. Like, ain't nothing wrong with you saying, Milagro, ain't nothing wrong with you saying that, you felt she was the supporter. Ain't nothing wrong with you doing that, because now, you got her out here looking like, yeah. Anyway, he don't care that much. That's true. He don't care. Milagro, my love, I don't know you. I think you're a beautiful woman. I think you have some je ne sais quoi. But I hope you know that this man, this is not giving me somebody who's gonna stand beside you and help you fight this. This gives somebody who don't give a damn. He don't care. I'm a millionaire. I don't care. Do what you gotta do. Charge me what you gotta charge me. I don't give a damn. And he gonna get back in his cell and not give a damn. Don't put yourself out there for these celebrities. I'm telling y'all right now, whether it's Cardi, Nicki Minaj, Tory Lanez, Krishan Rock, Blueface, and none of these other motherfuckers, do not put your head. Don't be up in here windmilling in no chats for them. Don't be sitting here putting your head on a chopping block for them. And next thing you know, when they pull your ass in court, guess what that celebrity gonna take up for you? They ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. That girl, that blogger who was fighting for Krishan, that blogger windmilling, that girl even had a physical fight. That blogger who was defending Krishan physically fought another blogger over Krishan. And when it's all said and done, Krishan didn't even give a damn. Give me a 3 if you know what I'm talking about. There is a blogger on Instagram that actually fought another blogger over Krishan being bullied. And when it was all said and done, what happened? What happened? Do not be fighting for these people. I'm telling you, let them go. Hey, we can report on them. We can feel some connection with them. But let's keep that shit. Keep it PG. Keep it cute. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, they don't really care about you in real life. I'm gonna keep it real, unless it's benefiting them in some way. And you gotta really watch some of these celebrities, because they'll befriend you just so you can report on them favorably, right? They'll befriend you just so you can report on them favorably. That's why I think even with Nicki Minaj. That's why I think she keep it cute with Tasha K, so Tasha K can't be destroying Kenny in the media, because she knows she wasn't friends with Tasha K. Cause Tasha K will slice Kenny ass up. You know what I'm saying? And let's keep it real. If Tasha K was not cool with Nicki Minaj, Tasha K would be slicing that goddamn Kenny Petty ass up. Y'all know it. But I feel like those even Cardi B being cool with Jason Lee. That way, you know what? She's cool with somebody who's not gonna sit there and just drag her in the media. They keep these blogs close to them and keep them in their pocket for a reason. I don't want to be friends with none of y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. Blue Nola ain't friends with nobody. Even my clients, I love my clients, but we ain't gonna be friends to the point to where, baby, I got a job to do. If I'm gonna say something to speak on it, that's when I'm gonna stand on business. I ain't got time for that. I can't talk about you because me and you cool. Girl, bye. You paying my money? You paying these bills? Right? You paying that Volkswagen that I just got? I just got a brand new Volkswagen. You paying that? Bye bye. Bye bye. You ain't my damn friend. My clients booking is not, I do the celebrity readings for entertainment, but my priority are my clients. All right, so let me see. People cross personal business too much. True. You know, true. But yeah, I'm a ride. Like when it comes to my clients, obviously I'm a ride for my clients. So I got their back. I'm all, they already know how I am about them. Should I be when they be telling me some of the stuff they be telling me on the phone? I'd be ready to fight. Y'all already know that. Tell clients, I got a lot of my clients in the chat right now. Tell them baby, I'll be ready to fight with you. I'll be ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? I'll be ready to fight. Don't be messing with my clients, baby. What you talking about? But I'm not about to windmill for none of these celebrities. You got me messed up. Bye. I'll be ready to fight, baby. Put the voodoo on your ass. What you talking about? But anyway, y'all, take care, stay blessed, encouraged, and empowered. Stay blessed, encouraged, and empowered. I'll be ready to fight. Ooh, child, some of the stuff I be hearing be going through me. And I'd be like, I could just, I'd be like, oh, if I could get in your body for 5 minutes and just, I just, just, but, people gotta live their life. Even when it comes to relationships, sometimes I be hearing certain things. We gotta learn how to, when we in relationships with people and these relationships don't work, guys. And this is something else. We're not talking about celebrities no more. When we in these relationships and we care about people and we put our effort into these people and these people don't give us the same thing back, we have to learn how to walk away. We have to learn how to let it go. We have to learn how to, make ourselves the priority. Like I see too much of where people, they will keep going into these vicious cycles with people who don't respect them. They don't really love them. They don't appreciate them. And we have to get to a point with people where, as much as we care about them, as much as we like them, as much as we love them, if they just not for us, they just not for us. And we have to be able to acknowledge that and understand that. And we have to protect ourselves and our energy. Because let me tell you, the wrong person could come in your life and mess your life up. Right? They can come in your life, you can allow it, and they can do it. Right? And we have to be able to say, you know what? As much as I care about this person, I want to be with this person, I'm attracted to this person. If this person is not adding value to my life, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. And I see it too much. Right? My daughter is talking so loud. So we have to be able to, we have to be able to take a step back and stop putting our energy into people who don't appreciate us. We just have to. All the years, way before I got married, all the years that I've, was single for, some time, the one thing that I did really well is I would break up with your ass in a minute. I would break up with you. I would change my phone number. I would act like you didn't even exist. I did that so well. And that served me so much. My sister's like that too, right? And that served me so well. But hopefully, like again, we see people that don't appreciate us, don't value us. And we got too many people out here that they want situationships. They don't want relationships, right? They want to be able to have the freedom to do what they want to do and still date you and other people and not be told anything and not be questioned. If that's not what you want, don't do it. If that's not what you want, don't do it. Because what happens is at the end of the day, You dating this person, you being so cold, you doing it, you're doing this, you're doing it, is not going to change their mind. If they went into the relationship with you saying they didn't want a commitment, that's what they said. If they said they don't want to get married, that's what they said. If they said they don't want kids, that's what they said. If they said they don't want a girlfriend, that's what they said. If they said they don't want a boyfriend, that's what they said. Like we can't we keep dating people with the hopes that something will change, the hopes that they will get, the hope that they will finally recognize our worth. That's got to be a thing that's got to be something automatic from the beginning. Anybody that's ever been in a real relationship, a relationship where a person shows up, you know what that looks like. So don't take less just to have something. Because at this point, we need to play the Betty Wright song. Peace of man is better than no man. Don't play Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie is just a man, and he's doing the best he can. We might as well be Betty Wright over here. Okay? Because now we just taking a piece of something. Piece of what, bitch? I don't want you. If you can't, my motto always been my whole life, if you can't give it to me all, I don't want none of it. That has saved me so much. That has gotten rid of people that shouldn't be here. That has made people stand up that should stand up. That has made people respect what I was expecting or deserve. If you can't do that, I don't want it. If you can't do that, I don't want it. Somebody was telling me, the guy was saying something about, like he was trying to figure it out between the two of them. Figure what out? The minute you would have fixed your lips, bitch, to say you need to figure out something between me and somebody else, the number that you have reached has been disconnected. Please try your goddamn call again. Because, baby, you could never come play in my face telling me you need to figure out something between me and Samantha. You got me messed up. All that. And then they got, and then and the other thing is, they always got a bunch of excuses. Now, these men that got real clever with it, right? They struggling financially. They got baby mama drama issues. They lost their job. They're not really working. Their mental health is bad. They got 101 excuses for why they can't do what they're supposed to do. They get ghosts. The first thing they say is they're in the hospital. Somebody died. That's their first two excuses, right? When they get ghosts. They're in the hospital and somebody died. Well, baby, you better be in a coma if you ain't called me. You better be in a coma if you ain't called me. Okay? Because you in the hospital and you done got missing for 40 days and 40 nights. That ain't gonna work. So true. I'd rather be alone. Period. Than settle. Mind you, then the peace be broken. Laugh out loud. Laughing my ass off. Some of the same soup warmed over. Period. Yeah. Anyway, let me get off this because I be talking to some people. I be like, I don't know, y'all. Child, I've been around your neck. But anyway, I'm out of here. Y'all have a great night. This is on Tory Lanez and a little bit about, Krishan and Blueface. And obviously this last little piece. But don't forget, you can book with me at BlueNolaTarot.com. Have a great night. I just want to talk about Tory, his situation. And I have 30-some videos on what happened, how it happened, what I believe, based on the reading, what happened. But yeah, I think you're going down the wrong path with that attitude, sir. I know you're trying to stop yourself from giving statements and depositions that can be used to you later, but you got to also think about this can affect your pardon, this can affect your parole, this can affect all kind of stuff down the road. So, you might want to think smart. Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth. Peace and blessings, y'all. Have a good night. Take care. Stay blessed, encouraged, and empowered. I'm out of here. Okay, period.